Take a look at this curve. This is a visual representation of the Yerkes-Dodson law, which visualizes a relationship between arousal and performance. It operates as a fairly simple bell curve, stating that when arousal is too high or too low, performance suffers, while in the center, where arousal is at the middle level, it allows for the highest level of performance. While the study that came to this conclusion suffers from similar replication errors to those that plague the world of psychology, the concept, at least anecdotally, is one I tend to relate to. I joke with my friends that I find myself most functional at about a 30% stress level. Any lower than this, and I push off work until the stress begins to raise again. Any higher, and I tend to slip and fall into spirals of anxiety that keep me pretty paralyzed. If you want more information on those specifics, you can hear me talk more about stress in this video. However, since starting grad school last fall, my optimal 30% stress level has pretty much flown out the window. I found myself much closer to 50 or 60% instead, and expectedly, this has put a damper on my performance. Big surprise, being more stressed in graduate school is not new or unique to me at all. In 2004, Evan Offstein and his team of researchers published a paper in the Emerald International Journal of Education Management titled, "Are We Doing Enough for Today's Graduate Student?", where they found that stress is at the core of the graduate student experience and is amplified by conflicting demands and internal conflict. Through their interviews, they found that participants described their lives and workload as difficult, demanding, and time and effort intensive. They characterized their lives as stressful, pressed, and having no breathing space, which is honestly deeply relatable. They hypothesized that this stress was caused by many things, including the overlapping roles that one has to play, the personality traits observed, and external demands. In the conclusion, they state that solutions aimed at improving graduate student advising or quality of life is likely to be a rather complex and intimate undertaking. Said differently, solutions to improve the graduate experience are likely to involve commitment on an interpersonal level and on an organizational level. In the 20 years since this study was originally published, schools have made an effort to include more stress-related material for graduate students. For example, in the university I currently attend, there are stress workshops run by the graduate school, a one-credit course on stress as an option for students who have space in their schedule, and a graduate student support group run by the Counseling Center. All of these place a focused effort on trying to navigate the stress Offstein describes, so why is it that recent studies have found that graduate students are still up to 3 times more likely to experience mental health disorders and depression? And more importantly, how do we go about fixing this? To find out, I talked to Harvard professor Paul Barreira to get more information on this subject. Dr. Barreira has spent the last 6 years of his tenure at Harvard working on the Graduate Student Mental Health Initiative, a program that quantifies data around graduate student mental health.
Nothing new. I don't think I learned anything that you guys already know. But we could quantify it. We could demonstrate that the problems in those areas are not due solely to depressed students, because faculty, oh, it's just the depressed students and the malcontents everybody else is fine, because we had such high response rates. We are addressing systemic issues. We're addressing it, but at a very, very, very granular level.
Yeah.
I never use the word that this is a systems issue. And even the choice of saying we're looking at the learning environment was a critical choice. We're not looking at the learning culture. It's and everybody participates in the learning environment. Right? So when you read the article or you look at the article on the econ departments, it's really helpful to say, oh, they're not using the word system. They're not using systemic, but they are actually addressing issues that are common in the graduate school world. Now that we've been doing it for 6 years, some faculty, I just had somebody do this, faculty said, well, Paul, you've learned so much. Tell us what works. And I respond and say, okay, I mean, I can give you examples, but every department is its own little dysfunctional family.
Mhm.
And what works in one department, the way they do it may not work in your department. So I can give you examples, but I don't know what you need to do in your unique department to make it work.
I came into this video expecting that the answer was easy. It's clear that the system of graduate education and academia pushes students and faculty to be more stressed, and thus the answer would be to fix the system as it is. However, the real solution is not so simple. In reality, the real mystery is a lack of data. As a part of this video, I began running a survey with my peers. I asked them about their experience of stress, what their relationship with their advisors and community was, and how that affected their stress levels. While going through these answers, I originally thought that would be the basis of my video, where I got things started. However, as I came to the end of this, the truth is that we need the kind of data on an individual programmatic basis. While we know and have known for over 20 years that students are stressed and that the system is part of what is making them stressed, the only way to make that change is to actually understand what creates this stress individually and programmatically. While it may not be the national level change I had hoped for, personalized change would hopefully create a more effective program. Dr. Paul Barreira and his colleague Dr. Valentin Bolotny published a blueprint in 2022 explaining how to implement these survey-based efforts in order to gather data on stress in graduate school. As we look toward the future of stress in graduate school, data collection like this from both students and faculty members is the work we need to do to move forward. We cannot simply implement yoga classes, one credit courses on stress, etc., and expect the change to come. We need to listen to students' voices, find out where the root of the problem is, and make change from there in each of our own individual programs. Thank you again for watching today's video, and I hope it inspired you to make some change in graduate school education. If you want to learn more about this topic, please check out my references in the description below, as well as Dr. Barrera's work with the Graduate Student Mental Health Initiative. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer them. Thanks again. Bye.